Hello, 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 yogis, and welcome to our Sunday gentle yoga class. And Sundays are also for some reflection and to kind of look back on the previous week, but even more so the previous month. So, something that I wanted to touch on today is affirmations and why affirmations are so important, the power of affirmation, and the affirmations that we've used throughout class, and how we can continue to use affirmations as we move forward in our day-to-day life. So, an affirmation is any I am statement. And I use affirmations to cultivate whatever it is that I'm working towards. So I am, and you want it in the present tense. So not I will be, or I was, or I should, or I could. I am is key because you want to claim it in the present tense. And what's happening when we use affirmations from a neuroscientific standpoint is the more we repeat something, the stronger the neural pathways are in our minds. And so, if we're trying to cultivate something new, like if we're trying to cultivate more confidence in a new position, or we're trying to heal something in the body, or we're trying to create a new thought pattern, a new belief, the more you repeat something, every time we repeat something, there's a neural pathway that's created in the brain. And the more we repeat it, the more neural pathways there are. And so the more we embody these ideas. So I am confident, I am healthy, I am whole, I am motivated, I am dedicated, I am committed. All of these I am statements. Now, for me, when there's something that I'm really working towards, I put these I am statements all over the place so that I can have a visual representation of these affirmations anywhere that I go, within my house, in my car, on my phone. So just a few ideas. I write affirmations on my mirror. So when I'm brushing my teeth or washing my face or doing my makeup, they're right there for me to see and repeat within my mind. I like to put them on the screensaver of my phone and my computer so that whenever I open my phone, I see that affirmation. Whenever I start my computer, I see that affirmation. I also love to use Post-its and put Post-its on my steering wheel, maybe in my agenda, or anywhere, maybe where you make your morning coffee or morning tea, so that you can really remind yourself consistently of these affirmations. I am love, I am trusting, I am healed, I am whole, I am strong, I am thin, I am abundant. Fill in the blank. So today's affirmation, we've had an affirmation for every class throughout these 30 days. Today's affirmation is I am empowered by my choices and motivated to succeed. I am empowered by my choices and motivated to succeed. So it can be something more complex like that, or it can be something as simple as I am whole, I am trusting, I am loving, I am beautiful, whatever that might be. So affirmations are really, really powerful. I'm going to leave it at that and just kind of let you percolate on that. So over the last 4 weeks, we have shown up to our mat and we have done these different styles of yoga. And our first class was actually a Sunday class where we opened up with the basic postures. Now that you've been through this month of classes, we're actually going to come back to the basics and just go through so that when you are off on your own, you're out of the 30-day challenge, maybe you start to come to your mat and just do a few poses, or maybe you go out into a studio and do some poses in a studio, you feel just that much more confident in these basic postures. So we're going to start with the breath. Let's flip the palms, palm facing down, close down your eyes, and get nice and tall from the tailbone through the crown of the head. Take a deep breath in and feel the breath expand within your torso. An open mouth exhale, breathe it out, let it go. Deep breath in, feel that expand within you. Full breath out, let that go. One more deep breath in. Open mouth exhale. Let's activate that Ujjayi breath. Inhales and exhales through the nose. You can gently press your tongue against the roof of your mouth to create some restriction in the back of your throat. Let's take a few rounds of breath here with this Ujjayi breath. It is an audible breath. Some people think it sounds like Darth Vader. Some people think it sounds more like an ocean wave rising and falling. I think it sounds like whatever connects you to this. And let's see if we can maintain this breath as we move through these postures, keeping one part of our focus on our breath. Let's shift to the back of our mats into our child's pose. Bring your big toes to touch. Knees come out as wide as feels comfortable for you today. Sink your hands forward, reaching forward. Sink your tailbone back and down. Spreading the fingers wide and letting the forehead rest down on the mat. I invite you to close down. And let's motivated and pressing yourself up into a tabletop position. Stacking shoulders over wrists, knees under hips. Tuck your tailbone under, creating a nice flat back. Spread your fingers out wide. And let's inhale, drop the belly, arch the spine, lift the gaze, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose, round the spine, head hangs heavy, press through the palms, draw the chin to the chest, really round through that spine. Inhale, back to your cow, arching your spine, lifting your gaze. Exhale into your cat, round your spine, head hangs heavy. Take 4 more of these transitions. So I would say this is the most important transition for the spine. So if you ever can't make it to your mat, see if you can do 7 cat-cows nice and early in the morning. Really good for that cerebral spinal fluid. And come to your neutral tabletop position. Let's flip our toes, press your hips up and back. You may want to walk your hands ahead and come into this first. Start to bend into one side, bend into the other. Line of the body. Into the legs. Your ears are near the wall. Find some space. Spread the fingers and press the chest forward. Shift yourself forward into a high plank position. So ideally, you want your shoulders stacked over your wrists and then that nice strong line of energy through the backside of the body. So maybe you needed to walk your hands forward a little bit. I did. Now press the down. So that is the perfect way. You're able to shift forward and have your shoulders over your wrists as you come into that plank, and then shift back down dog. So there's really movement through the hands and feet, only movement through the upper body, the torso. So high plank, high plank, back to down. Let's take it through that chaturanga, high plank, lower, 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 lower. See if you can use resistance. Flip the toes, press the tops of the feet in. Inhale into your upward facing dog. Press the mat away, lift your gaze. And then flip the toes, press up and back, downward facing dog. Let's run through that one more time. So this is our vinyasa flow, our chaturanga, or our yogi push-up. So sink forward into that high plank. Take an inhale in your high plank. Exhale as you lower to a hover or all the way down. Really squeeze those elbows in. Unflip the toes. Press through the palms, upward facing dog. And then exhale, press back. Look, step forward and rise into your mountain pose. So for that mountain pose, you want your toes and heels maybe touching. For me, that's what feels best. Or maybe you want some space between your feet. Find what feels right for you. What is important is that your big toes are pointed to 12 o'clock. Tuck the tailbone under and get nice and tall from the tailbone through the crown of the head. Draw the shoulders away from the ears and the ears away from the shoulders, and then roll the palms forward. So in some studios and instances that I've been to, mountain is with the arms extended up. But what I was taught is that this is mountain pose. Roll the palms forward, stay open through the chest. And that this is extended mountain with your arms up. So I think it just depends how your teacher teaches. But for me, this is mountain pose and this is extended mountain. Let's take an inhale in our extended mountain and exhale forward fold. Ride that breath all the way down. Heel toe your feet hip width distance apart. The legs today. I definitely am, from walking yesterday, feeling into that. And that's a real every day that we practice, we are different. So every day you're there to discover your body. It's not necessarily like your progress is in discovering it. Let your hands come down. Heel to your feet back to one another. Take a gentle bend in the knees. Let's come all the way up to standing. From here, let's come into our tree pose. So balancing, grounding down into the left foot. Take the right foot to the ankle, the calf, or the inner thigh. Press your palms through heart center. Stay nice and tall. So just find what's challenging for your balance today. Press those palms together. Now, the purpose of pressing the palms together is to create engagement and activation through the upper part of the body. And when we do that, that creates more stability and ease of balance in the lower part of the body. So the upper part, a part of the body being engaged and active is just as important. So you can stay right here, or maybe you want to cactus out your arms or extend your arms straight up. You decide today for your body. And let's bring that right foot down. Bring the left foot, ground down into the right foot. Left foot comes to the ankle. the calf, or the inner thigh. So you really want to be anywhere above or below the knee. You want to keep the knee nice and safe and stable. Press your palms through heart center. Get nice and tall. Come back to your breath. Maybe you want to cactus out the arms, or maybe you want to extend the arms straight up and out. You decide. And let's let the hands and feet come down. Take a moment, walk that off. So good. Balance is so important. Let's come back to the top of our mat and let's step the left foot back, keeping the right foot forward. And let's step right into our warrior one pose. So that back foot's at a 45, front foot is pointed straight forward, hips and shoulders are squared forward. And then you're going to reach through your fingertips. Now, if you can't bring your hips to square forward, that means you need to widen the stance between your feet. So create more space between your feet until you can point the hips and shoulders forward. So usually if we're more like this, so my hips aren't squared forward, it's because I have tight hips. So all I need to do is bring that back foot out slightly, and then I can come more into that squared forward stance. The back foot's still at a 45, but there's more space between the feet. Really depends on your body and what your body feels like today. And then let's sweep the arms up, draw the pinkies in and the shoulders back and down, keeping the chin parallel to the floor, gazes forward. Feel into this strong warrior one. Big breath in, full breath out. Let's take 3 more. Deep breath in, full breath out. And again, big breath in, full breath out. Last one. Open up to your warrior two. So usually I don't move the front foot and I move the back foot. And you want heel to arch alignment. So the back arch is aligned with the front heel. My mat actually has a center line on it. And so my front foot is pretty much always on that center line. And my back foot for my warrior two is perpendicular to that. So I always know that I have that perfect alignment in my feet. You want to bend into the front knee and then check in that the shoulders are stacked over the hips and the arms are straight and strong and the gaze is over the front middle finger. So what can happen here is we can let our arms be kind of relaxed. We want to engage through the arms, building up that strength. We want to sink into the front knee, creating that stretch and length and power in that front quad. And then the gaze is just as important as everything else. So we're nice and solid here. Let's take 3 deep breaths. And to reverse our warrior, we can just drop the back hand down and bring the front hand back, opening and lengthening through that side body. So over time, you might start to arch through that side, but maybe to begin, you just reach straight up and you feel that length through the whole front line. Come back to your warrior two. Let's straighten out the front leg, parallel the back foot to the back side of the mat. Take that front foot, bring it forward, and let's come into our warrior two on the opposite side. So lining up the feet, heel to arch alignment, front foot is straight forward, shoulders are stacked over wrists, arms are straight and strong, that gaze is forward. Take a couple deep breaths. Make sure you're strong in those arms. If I was in your room with you, would I be able to come and press on that back arm and have it come down? Get nice and stable. Let's reverse our warrior. Actually, let's take 2 more breaths here. And then let's reverse the warrior. Back hand comes down, front hand comes up, reaching straight up rather than back. Let's just start straight up, and then over time, we'll create that back. Come back to your warrior two. We're going to take that back foot, bring it out to that 45-degree angle as we shift ourselves into our warrior one. Those hips are pointed forward. Back foot's at the 45. Bend into the front knee. And then reach through your fingertips. Draw the pinkies in, shoulders back and down. Press into the outside edge of that back foot. Get nice and stable and solid. You can lift through your gaze. Let's take 4 breaths here. Press into those feet. And let's let the hands come down. Step back to the top of the mat. Take a moment. Just kind of walk that out. And let's come down onto our mat. Extend your legs out in front of you. And let's come into a nice basic forward fold. Take a couple deep breaths here. Come through center. Let's come all the way down to our backs. Bend into the knees, plant the feet on the floor, hip width distance. Reach your fingers for your heels. Lift your hips up. Shimmy your shoulder blades toward one another. Tuck your chin to your chest to your chin. Take a deep breath in. And a full breath out. Bridge pose. So you want some engagement here through your core, through your glutes, through the inside edges of your thighs. This is actually a really good strength building pose. Slow and controlled, let the back come down. Heel toe the feet toward one another. Bring the soles of the feet together and letting the knees come out wide. Take some deep breaths here. Let's take that right leg, extend it out long. Keeping the left foot tucked in, let's take a few breaths here. I call this fallen tree, because we basically are in that tree pose, but we are supine, which means laying down. And speaking of supine, let's come into our supine twist. Bring that left knee in toward the body and then guide it across the body, stacking the hips. Let's take our left arm out, send it out to the left, gaze out to the left, knees coming over to the right. And something that I always like to do is just to give a little gentle massage to the side of the leg here. So the IT band is along the side, which can be pretty tight tendon that runs along the side of the leg from the hip. I also can usually feel some tenderness through my hips, so I like to give them a little massage. And let's come back through center. Take a moment, squeeze that left leg in. Let's extend it out long. Take the right leg and bring it to the inside edge of that calf, quad, coming into that fallen tree to the right. Take a couple deep Ujjayi breaths here. Bring that right knee in, give it a little squeeze, and then let's come into that supine twist. Right knee comes across to the left, stack the hips, extend the right arm out to the right, gaze to the right, and you can use your left hand to give a little, either you can just let it rest there, or maybe a little bit of massage into that part of the body. And let's bring that knee back through center. Take a moment and squeeze it into the front line. Send your legs straight up toward the ceiling. Flip your palms, palm facing down. See if you can create that nice L shape where your legs are straight up and your upper body is straight out. Flex your toes to your face and slow and controlled start to lower the heels down for 5, 4, 3, 2. Press forward, squeeze through those glutes, engage through that core. You got it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let everything sink and melt away. And let's come right back to our affirmation. I am empowered by my choices and motivated to succeed. I am empowered by my choices and motivated to succeed. Let yourself sink and settle in, maybe taking a couple deep breaths and repeating today's affirmation in your mind's eye. Let's take a deep breath in, roll our ankles and wrists, wiggle the fingers and toes. Bring the knees in toward the chest, gently rock from side to side. Grab the backs of your legs and rock yourself all the way up into a seated position. Cross leg, easy seat is what we call this. Let's bring our palms through heart center and tuck our chin to our chest. Congratulations on completing day 29. We have 1 day left. Feel so good about what you've done. Feel so good about the relationship that you've cultivated to your own body. That's what this practice is all about. It is about building a stronger relationship to ourselves, physically, mentally, and emotionally. And how we do that is through our awareness of our body, our thoughts, and our feelings. So every time you come to your mat, there's wisdom there for you. And you carry that wisdom into the rest of your day. May you take time today to reflect on this journey and reflect on your inner wisdom. You are wise. Your body, your mind, and your emotions all have wisdom within them to reveal to you about you. I loved sharing this journey with you. Hasn't always been easy, but man, has it been worth it. The light, the love, the wisdom in me sees, honors, reflects, and encourages the light, the love, the wisdom in you. Namaste. I hope to see you again tomorrow for our celebration class, day number 30. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your Sunday or whatever day it is, wherever you are. Until we meet again, may your light be your guide.